Chapter 15, Active and Passive Voice. Many actions involve two people or things, one who performs the action and the other which is affected by the action. Such actions are defined by transitive verbs. Read these sentences. A porter carries luggage. Rajan drove the car up the hill. They will order pasta and pizza. The words highlighted in each of these sentences perform the action of carrying, driving, and ordering. The porter, Rajan, and they are the subjects of the sentences. They are the doers of the action. Luggage, the car, and pasta and pizza are the objects. When the doer of the action is the subject of the sentence, then the verb in the sentence is said to be in active voice. In layman terms, the doer is in the beginning of the statement, but this is true of statements only. There is another way in which the above sentences can be written. Luggage is carried by a porter. The car was driven up the hill by Rajan. Pasta and pizza will be ordered by them. In the above sentences, the doer of the action is not the subject of the sentence, but it is the object. The verbs in these sentences are in passive voice as the doer is not active or it is sleeping. Active voice is generally used when the doer of the action is more important. Passive voice is used when the doer of the action is not important. We may not know who performed the action. Their house was burgled last night. Passive voice is used when we think the doer of the action is not important. The cars were towed away from the market area in which parking is not allowed. We use passive voice when the doer of the action is obvious. The patient was operated upon. Changing sentences from active voice into passive voice. The following points should be kept in mind while changing sentences. There is no change in the meaning of the sentence while changing the voice. The tense, past, present, or future of the sentence remains unchanged. A statement is changed into a statement and a question into a question while changing the voice. The word by is added to the sentence. You need to know the three forms of verbs in order to change the voice. Interchange the positions of the two nouns in the sentence. Active voice. Aishwarya bought a bag. Noun 1, Aishwarya. Bought, verb. A bag, noun 2. Passive voice. A bag was bought by Aishwarya. A bag, noun 2. Was bought by, verb. Aishwarya, noun 1. Change in tenses. Past tense, present tense, future tense. Simple, active, passive. Continuous, active, passive. Perfect, active, passive. Perfect continuous, active, passive. Grammar points. If the verb is in the example tense, then add by and write the third form of the verb. Example, active voice, Isha sings songs. Passive voice, songs are sung by Isha. Active voice, Geeta brought a tie for Raghav. Passive voice, a tie was brought by Geeta for Raghav. Active voice, she will bake a cake. Passive voice, a cake will be baked by her. 2. If the sentence is in continuous tense, add the word being to the sentence. If the word being is already there in the sentence, delete and form the continuous tense form of the verb. Examples, active voice, Abhilasha is writing a letter. Passive voice, a letter is being written by Abhilasha. Active voice, Meeta was buying a teddy bear. Passive voice, a teddy bear was being bought by Meeta. If the sentence is in perfect tense, add the word been to the sentence. If the word been is already there in the sentence, delete and form the perfect tense form of the verb. For example, active voice, I have drawn a picture. Passive voice, a picture has been drawn by me. Active voice, Aparna had cleaned the carpet. Passive voice, the carpet had been cleaned by Aparna. Active voice, Aarti will have run the race. Passive voice, the race will have been run by Aarti. Changing interrogative sentences from active voice to passive voice. There are two types of questions, yes or no answer questions and WH family questions. Yes or no answer questions begin with the forms of be, is, are, am, was, were, do, do, does, did, have, has, have, had, modal verbs can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might. Read the following examples carefully. Active voice, are you baking a cake? Passive voice, is cake being baked by you? Active voice, are you baking cupcakes? Passive voice, are cupcakes being baked by you? Active voice, does he repair furniture? Passive voice, is furniture repaired by him? Active voice, did they carry the boxes? Passive voice, were the boxes carried by them? Active voice, did he ring the doorbell? Passive voice, was the doorbell rung by him? Active voice, does Gagan publish books? Passive voice, are books published by Gagan? Active voice, can I borrow this book? Passive voice, can this book be borrowed by me? Remember, do, does, is, was, did, was, were. WH family questions begin with what, when, where, why, who, whom, and how. While changing the voice of WH family questions, the passive voice begins with the same WH word except those questions that begin with WHO. Who? The passive voice of such questions begins with by whom. Read these examples carefully. Active voice, who brought these books? Passive voice, by whom were these books brought? Active voice, who will write the report? Passive voice, by whom will the report be written? Active voice, when do they ring the bell? Passive voice, when is the bell rung by them? Active voice, why did he cut down the tree? Passive voice, why was the tree cut down by him? Active voice, where do you park your scooter? Passive voice, where is your scooter parked by you? Active voice, how does he earn so much money? Passive voice, how is so much money earned by him? Active voice, what have you done? Passive voice, what has been done by you? Changing imperative sentences into passive voice. Commands are changed in either of these ways. Active voice, open the windows. Passive voice, you are ordered to open the windows. Or, active voice, let the windows be opened. Active voice, paint the walls. Passive voice, you are ordered to paint the walls. Or, passive voice, let the walls be painted. Words like urged, advised, cautioned, warned, required, commanded can be used depending upon the intent of the sentence. Requests are changed in these ways. Words like please and kindly are deleted. Active voice, please help me. Passive voice, you are requested to help me. Active voice, kindly speak softly. Passive voice, you are requested to speak softly. Change the voice of infinitives. Infinitive has the form to plus verb while changing these sentences to passive voice. To plus be plus third form of the verb is used. Read these examples. Active voice, Ashna has to do this work. Passive voice, this work has to be done by Ashna. Active voice, Sanya is to play the match. Passive voice, the match is to be played by Sanya. Active voice, he has to drink the medicine. Passive voice, the medicine has to be drunk by him. Active voice, the monitor has to mind the class. Passive voice, the class has to be minded by the monitor. Passive voice of ditransitive verbs. A ditransitive verb is a verb which takes a subject and two objects. While forming the passives of such sentences, we can begin with one of the subjects. We can begin with one of the objects. Examples. Active voice, Sheila ma'am showed us a French feature film. Passive voice, a French feature film was shown to us by Sheila ma'am. Or, passive voice, we were shown a French feature film by Sheila ma'am. Active voice, the postman gave me the letter. Passive voice, a letter was given to me by the postman. Or, passive voice, I was given the letter by the